Well, hello, everyone. Welcome. We're so glad that you're here with us tonight for our wellness webinar, Immune Boost, Staying Healthy During Cold and Flu Season. So my name is Beth Enslin, and I am honored to welcome you here tonight. Tonight's topic is perfect timing as we start to wrap up October or, halfway through, but we're getting there. And it really doesn't matter what part of the country you're in because the weather is changing. So it may not be as drastic for some as it is to others, but you will start to know that you start to spend more time indoors. And what we're really going to talk about is how you can stay your healthiest. So whether you're watching live or you're catching the replay, we know you'll walk away with some really good practical tips. So it's my pleasure to introduce you to our presenters. We have Kate Carripio, who is a national board certified health and wellness coach, and Chris Combest, a professional health and wellness coach. So both are also certified Optavia coaches who are passionate about helping people create sustainable healthy lifestyles. So Kate, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Fabulous. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Immune Boost, Staying Healthy During Cold and Flu Season. I'm Kate, and I'm here with Chris, and we're so glad that you're taking time for yourself tonight. This season, it kind of, starting to feel like everyone around us is getting sick, right? Sneezing, coughing, something. But the good news is there are some simple ways to strengthen your defenses.
Tonight isn't about complicated plans or a magic pill for being well. We're going to share everyday foods and habits that help your immune system do its job. Our hope is that you'll leave with a clear game plan, and we'll be sending you bonus handouts. We have a 2-page immune boosting food guide, as well as some recipes, which we'll be talking about today.
That's right. And while we're talking, feel free to drop in the chat. What is your go-to when you start to feel run down? Is it tea, soup, extra sleep? We would love to hear. Chris, what's yours?
I start with a nap. That's my first thing. When I start to feel run down, I take a nap and then kind of go from there.
Okay. All right, good.
What about you?
Mine's tea. Tea. I really like the hot tea with some lemon, and sometimes I will put some honey in it.
Good. We got lots of naps in there. Zinc. Oh, that's a good one.
Mm.
More sleep. All right. Okay, let's talk about why immunity matters. Here's the quick science. Your immunity system is like your body's security team. It fights off viruses, bacteria, and anything that doesn't belong. But during fall and winter, it's under more pressure. There's less sunlight, there's less vitamin D, more stress, more time indoors, which means close quarters and people who sometimes are sick. So you're all in there with them. And that combination makes it easier to pick up colds and flu.
That's right. And this is why we really wanted to talk about this now. We have some big holidays that are coming up, and that is, for many people in that close quarters. And this is some of the things that we're going to be dealing with. And if you're like most people, right, whether you're the busy professional, stay-at-home mom, full-time caregiver, or just one of the many other scenarios that you may find yourself in during this season of life, you don't have time to be sidelined. And that's why everyday things you do, how you sleep, how you eat, how you manage stress, these make such a difference. It's not about being perfect, but it is about being consistent.
And there's a lot of things that can affect your immune system. First thing we're going to talk about, stress. Stress suppresses your immune function. Chronic stress increases your cortisol, which can suppress white blood cell activity, which is your body's first line of defense. And high cortisol levels make it harder to fight off viruses and infections.
And I'm really glad that Chris got to talk to you about that science stuff. Mine's easier, right? The emotional strain is the physical drain. So the mental and emotional stress, they use up energy and the nutrients in your body that you really need for immune repair and recovery. And, in this season that we're in, when you have the worry and overwhelm or lack of downtime during the holidays, particularly, that's what it keeps your body in the fight or flight mode instead of the rest and repair.
Yeah. And speaking of rest, sleep, nutrition, and stress are all interconnected. Stress often disrupts your sleep and healthy eating habits, and both are essential for immunity. I know all of us have been lying in bed and you're thinking about everything that happened that day, what you have to do tomorrow, what someone said. That's all stress keeping you awake. The lack of sleep also raises your cortisol, and that makes it harder to lose weight and to manage your stress. So everything's all interconnected. Um, One easy way to do that, well, not so easy for some people, but it's a good thing to do, is limit your ultra processed foods because they can increase inflammation in your body, which increases your stress.
And, I love how you put all those together, the sleep, nutrition, and stress, how they are interconnected. I mean, we hear that over and over again. And I think that so many times people think that they're all different and they're all isolated, but they really do all combine together. So
Yeah.
that was a great point. The next thing is the social and financial pressures, and they do add up, right? The pressure to do it all, to do the shopping, to do the entertaining, the family expectations, they can raise your stress hormones and really start to weaken your immune defenses. Even positive stress, like the excitement of or travel, right? That can really tax your body if it's constant.
Yeah, I mean, and I've heard people say, I need a vacation from my vacation because even though you have fun and all that, there's a lot of stress involved in that with traveling.
There is, absolutely.
One thing that you can do, we call it the calm connection. Studies show that stress management practices like deep breathing, gratitude, mindfulness, light movement, these all enhance your immune resilience. Find moments of calm in your day. That helps balance your nervous system and boosts the cells that fight the viruses. Drop in the chat, what's your go-to stress management practice?
So I'll just share with mine. I like using the Calm app. And I know there's other ones. There's, I think, Insight Timer, Headspace, different things. But sometimes when I feel myself, my stress just going higher and higher, I like to put on that daily calm. It's like 9 minutes typically. And the funny thing is, when I put it on, I'm going, there's no way that I'm going to be able to sit here for 9 minutes. And what I find is it actually does. I can sit there and it does really start to take it away. There's some great information, great responses, some deep breathing, exercise, walking. Perfect. Chris, what's yours?
I start with breathing. I do a thing called box breathing. You just breathe in 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds. So it's like breathe in, hold it, breathe out for 4 seconds, then hold it for 4 seconds. And it really just kind of gets my mind I'm focused on my breathing, on the counting, and it calms me down a lot. So
That's obvious. Do you know the Navy SEALs actually use that?
really,
Yeah, they do. And I mean, they certainly can't, put on a meditation app like
yeah,
I can, but breathing on the go. So that is a great one.
yeah.
Definitely something that anybody can do.
Look at
Awesome.
me being a Navy SEAL.
Yes. All right. So let's start with the habits, right? Before we even talk about food, these are the basics that matter most. So sleep. Really, we should be aiming for 7 to 8 hours. When you sleep, your body, it produces infection fighting cells and antibodies, right? So we like to call sleep nature's nurse. Think of it as the night shift cleaning crew. And they're coming in and they're repairing and they're cleaning and they're rebalancing your hormones. Skipping sleep is like sending that crew home early. And guess what? The work doesn't get done. So sleep's pretty important.
I like that. That's a great way to look at it. They come in, clean everything out, and I like that.
That's right.
Another one is hydration. Even mild hydration slows down your immune response. I know many people who struggle drinking water as it starts to get cooler. In the summer, it's easy. You're hot, you're outside, you take your water bottle everywhere you go. Um, so, in addition to water, if that, because I know a lot of people that struggle with that. If you struggle with it, when it starts to get cooler, think about herbal teas or maybe a broth. And there's also some fruits and vegetables that have a lot of water. We have watermelon, cucumbers, oranges are just a few. If you really struggle, find an alternative like that just to get some hydration in.
Yeah, that's great. It's funny, I talk to a lot of clients who, as the temperatures are getting cooler, they're just like, I don't want to drink water. It's like the last thing. And some of the things that I often tell them is hot tea, the herbal teas are really great. The broth, as you mentioned, down here in Florida, we don't actually get super cold. So the fruits and vegetables are great for us, as we still keep drinking our water.
Yeah.
So, but let's talk about that last one, that stress management, right? As Chris mentioned earlier, the high stress, high cortisol. Too much cortisol actually weakens your defenses. So learning to pause, to breathe, to reset really helps your body return to balance and strengthens your immune system. So whether it looks like meditation, which is what I talked about, or the deep breathing, which Chris mentioned, or even going for a 5-minute walk, find something that actually works for you. That's the important thing.
Yeah, and some other things that help with reducing the stress and helping you get your sleep. Keep a consistent bedtime. Just try to keep a schedule. Limit your caffeine after 2 p.m. Maybe if you feel like you need something else, have an herbal tea instead of that extra coffee and cut down on the caffeine. I mean, I know with me, if I have caffeine late in the day, that definitely keeps me up. Or try, 5 minutes of deep breathing or some gratitude journaling will definitely help lower your cortisol.
Yeah, you hear that a lot with the gratitude journaling. Some people say before you go to bed, write down 3 things that you're grateful for, or when you first wake up, before your feet hit the floor, write down 3 things that you're grateful for. So that's a great tip to really help with our immune system. So let's do another quick check-in. Which one of these 3 here, the sleep, hydration, or stress, is your biggest challenge right now? I'm just curious. Anybody have anything that's sleep,
Uh,
water, stress?
got
Oh,
them
got some
all.
of everything. Yeah,
What
yeah.
about
All
you,
right.
Kate?
For me, you know, I know it, I said to pick one of these 3, but actually I think my biggest one is I just the season of life I'm in right now is exercising and working out. And that's something that's super important to me, but just there's a lot of things going on and I haven't been able to do it. So I think that's where my biggest challenge at the moment. So how about you?
Mine is sleep. I mean, we see, I go to sleep when I'm stressed, but then also have trouble sleeping. I'm a very good napper, but I'm not a very good sleeper.
Ah, all right. All right. Something we all have things to work on, right?
Yes.
All right. So let's dig into the fun part. Food. This is really where, we actually have the most control on a daily basis. We're going to be sending out a handout with, when we send out the recording. So take a look for that. And you're going to have our top 12 immunity boosting foods. But right now we're going to go through and we're going to highlight them for you. So Chris, what do we got first?
Our first group of foods are the ones that provide vitamins and antioxidants. These support white blood cell production, repair, and defense. Number one is citrus. Oranges, grapefruits, lemons, any citrus fruits. These are all rich in vitamin C, and that helps stimulate your white blood cell production, and it also strengthens your immune system. Vitamin C acts as an antioxidant, and it protects your cells from damage caused by stress and free radicals.
So that makes me think of the emergency, all the different over-the-counter
Oh,
supplements
yeah.
that they sell, especially during the cold and flu season.
Yeah.
So there you go. So you can do that, or you can have some citrus fruit. Okay. So red peppers, you may find this interesting, but this is one of the most concentrated sources of vitamin C, which is even more than citrus, which I just found pretty surprising.
Yeah.
But they also provide beta carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A to support skin and mucosal health, your body's first line of defense.
Oh, that's interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah.
our next thing is greens, spinach, kale, Swiss chard, any of those. These are packed with vitamins A, C, K, also folate and iron, so that's a lot of vitamins there. This helps your immune cells grow and for oxygen delivery throughout your body. The antioxidants help reduce cellular stress and inflammation, keeping your immune cells resilient, and they can work better.
Which is good. We want them to. And next, we have sweet potatoes on the list. So sweet potatoes, I mean, this is, I always think of Thanksgiving when I hear sweet potatoes. My mother-in-law always wants to have sweet potatoes with marshmallows on top. It's just what she does. And they are loaded with beta carotene as well. It's a precursor to the vitamin A, which maintains the healthy skin, mucosal membranes, but it's also essential for blocking germs. And their natural antioxidants also help the body recover from stress and inflammation.
Interesting. Next, we have berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, whatever kind of berries. These have a ton of vitamin C, which again strengthens your immune defense. And the pigments that give them their color help calm inflammation and improve circulation.
Okay. And the last one on this list is the almonds. And almonds are high in vitamin E, which is a powerful antioxidant that protects your immune cells from oxidative damage. You know, they're healthy fats and they aid in the vitamin E absorption, helping to maintain resilience during stress or illness. The challenge that I see with almonds is that most people don't actually measure out a serving size. And, you know, instead of 10 almonds, it's handfuls or the container. So although these foods that, you know, we just mentioned are good for you, right, with the vitamin and antioxidant support, please be careful of your portion sizes.
Yeah, that's very easy to just keep eating the nuts. Oh, they're good for me. I'm going to keep eating them.
Right, right. They're good in a serving size.
Yes. All right. Our next group help gut health. Your gut is where 70% of your immune system lives.
Wait, so isn't that the gut brain
Yeah.
axis,
Yeah,
right?
which is super interesting.
Yeah.
The number one thing that's good for that is yogurt with live active cultures. Yogurt is rich in probiotics. It promotes a healthy gut microbiome, and that communicates directly with your immune system. A balanced gut microbiome can reduce inflammation and improve how your body responds to pathogens, so all the bad guys.
Let's talk about those greens again, right? The leafy greens that contain the fiber, they act as a prebiotic. They also fuel beneficial gut bacteria. They deliver plant compounds that actually strengthen that gut lining, okay? And they enhance nutrient absorption and the immune signaling.
Next is garlic. Garlic contains prebiotics again that feed your good gut bacteria. And it also keeps the harmful microbiomes in check and also keeps away vampires. So it's a true dual action food supporting balance and immune communication in the gut and keeps
And yeah, and I love vampire. I mean, I don't love vampires. I love the garlic, so I can keep the vampires away.
You're
So
safe.
I am safe. But I'll tell you what is not for me. It's the next one, which is mushrooms. It's just not my thing.
Me
But
neither.
yeah, but you know what? They're rich in beta glucans and they, which actually enhance the activity of your white blood cells. Mushrooms also help regulate the gut immunity and encourage beneficial bacteria growth, which, you know, keeps your defenses strong.
Yeah, and that's an easy thing to put in recipes. So if mushrooms are your
Yeah,
thing, they are good for you.
there you go.
All right. Next, we're going to look at anti-inflammatory and immunity boosting foods. These reduce chronic inflammation and support a balanced immunity. The first is turmeric. Turmeric contains curcumin. It's a compound with strong anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. It helps regulate your immune cell activity and it may reduce inflammation linked to chronic illness.
Turmeric is a great one. The next one is ginger. Ginger is naturally anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial. Ginger helps calm the body's inflammatory response and soothes digestion. It also supports circulation, helping immune cells reach where they are needed most. You know, we talk a lot, or we hear a lot, I do anyway, about how ginger helps soothe your belly, right? They put it in tea and candies and well, not, I don't say candy, but like little drops when you have a sensitive stomach.
Yeah, had one out here. I don't know what I did with it, but I use those quite a bit. Anytime I feel kind of nauseous or just don't feel quite right, I take these little garlic, or not garlic, I'm back in garlic again, ginger drops.
You're
And
afraid
it
of the
helps.
vampires.
Yeah. I've got vampires on the brain. So yeah, those little ginger drops are great. It takes, that right away. We also have green tea. You hear everyone's like, green tea this, green tea that. It's great for you. It's filled with antioxidants to protect your immune cells from damage, and it supports a balanced inflammatory response. So keeps you from being inflamed. It also enhances alertness without overstimulating your nervous system like caffeine does.
I'm gonna say it's a great substitute, right, for the other teas and coffee. And so let's talk about berries again. So some of these, as you can see, they're on different sheets because they actually have multiple benefits for you. So berries with their deep pigments, it not only boosts the antioxidants, but also suppress the inflammatory pathways. And, including berries regularly, they can actually help lower your oxidative stress and promote healthy recovery after illness or stress. You may have seen the webinar that Susie and I did previously. We talked about the golden spice mix. This is a fabulous mix or concoction, if you want to call it, but you actually can add it to your lattes, your smoothies, your soups. My brother-in-law, Tony, he actually would put it on his morning cereal. I like to add it to my protein waffles every day. And, we're going to actually send you, when we send out the recording and the handouts, we're going to put that recipe in here because it just has so many great things with the turmeric, the ginger, cinnamon, some great spices to help in your daily basis.
Yeah. And speaking of Susie, we actually put it in our scrambled eggs. And I thought it would be kind of weird with the cinnamon and all the different things, but you really don't taste it. And then you're getting all the health benefits, which is perfect.
Great idea.
One of my favorites for immune support is honey ginger tea. It's very simple. I have my Ohio State mug. I take a slice of ginger. I use fresh ginger and just cut into a little slice, or you can also use ginger paste. It's just squeeze that right in there. Cut a lemon, squeeze some lemon in there, and then a teaspoon of honey. We don't have our little bear. We used to have the bear with the honey. Put that in there, steep it in the hot water. And it's a great way to, help your immune system.
Awesome. And I'm going to share another one. And this is, it's like a parfait, right? If you like yogurt, you can layer this with berries or almonds. That'll give you that parfait, right? Which it actually you have the probiotics, the antioxidants, and the vitamin E all in one. So I'm just going to show you. This is something that I use. I use several different kinds, but the Okios Pro, it has 23 grams of protein, and this has 9 grams of carbs. 23 grams of protein, 9 grams of carbs, and there is a total of 4 of the sugars, but 0 of them are added. So that's super important. So I take that, and so knowing that 3/4 of a cup is a serving, I put it into here so you could actually see this is like a little plastic glass, but 3/4 cup is pretty substantial. This is one, and these are my favorite Pampered Chef tools. But 3/4 cup, it's in a nice amount, but we always suggest that you measure it because you may either be taking way too much. But another thing I want to point out is that sometimes people like to put granola, and granola, it can be tricky. It has this health halo that people think, oh, it's so great for you, but they can be packed with hidden sugars and oils. So I just want to point out one that I had found. It's purely Elizabeth. It's grain free, and This is a nut granola. Something that's important that if you were going to use it, we suggest you look for less than 5 grams of added sugar per serving. So a third of a cup is a serving size. It's 170 calories. This is a third of a cup. I wanted to show you. Okay. That's a third of a cup. It has 170 calories. It has 13 grams of fat, 8 grams of carbs, 6 grams of protein. So if I were going to put this together, I just want to point out that it's 330 calories. So I'm not going to do it now because I am not eating 330 calories before I go to bed. That would not be good for me, but I can have it for breakfast in the morning. But it's 330 calories, but it's 29 grams total of protein, 17 grams of carbs, and 16 grams of fat. So to me, that's a nice mix. I'm having a good bit more protein than I am on carbs. So I just want to share that. Just be careful when you are looking at granola. Make sure that you're getting the right balance.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, and you could also make your own, like toast some plain roll oats, sprinkle a little cinnamon on there in a pan, and it gives you the same texture as granola, but almost no added sugar or oil. You just get that crunch and a little bit of flavor.
Yeah, you just have to be careful with that. Watching the carbs and the calories, they're super high for that. So it is that balance. If you're pairing it with, some of the super high protein, that would be super high protein yogurt. That would be, just be careful once again, the portion size.
Yeah, just make sure that you're looking at portion sizes, you're measuring, and looking at the combination of the carbs, fat, protein, everything.
Yeah.
Gratitude. Here's something surprising. Gratitude actually boosts your immune system. Why? Because being gracious lowers stress, and lower stress means lower inflammation. And that directly supports your immune response. It's science backed. Here we are with the science again.
Mhm.
People who practice gratitude regularly have stronger immunity.
And that's, once again, as you talk about the science, there has been so many times that they'll come out and say the different studies of people who will write down 3 things they're grateful for, and it really does help them in so many ways. So let's just pause for 1 second here and drop one thing in the chat today that you're grateful for. So big or small, it all counts. I am actually incredibly grateful that I can be here tonight. I'm grateful that I have my water because I get super thirsty. I drink a lot of water. I probably drink about a gallon a day. Well, not probably. I definitely drink at least a gallon a day, but that's me. So, Chris, what are you grateful for?
Not now because it's dark, but today I was very grateful for the sun. I get energy there. When it's cloudy out and kind of icky, I don't have as good a day. So I was very grateful that it was sunny and beautiful today. I'm grateful for my friends and also grateful I'm here so we can, share some good information with people.
Awesome. That's great. So let's recap. Strong immunity comes from the basics, right? This is nothing crazy. It's good sleep, hydration, stress relief, plus some nourishing foods like the citrus and garlic, yogurts and green tea. These are just small steps that add up.
Yeah, and you don't need to be perfect. Kate said this earlier. You just need to be consistent. And that's what helps your body defend itself.
That's right. So we just want to thank you for spending this time with us. As we mentioned, we're going to be sending out the immune boosting food guide with the grocery list, as well as the golden spice mix and the 2 recipes that we actually showed you here today. And we're going to ask you, mark your calendars. Our next webinar, monthly wellness webinar, is Gratitude and Health, a wellness approach to the holidays. That's going to be on November 20th. We would love to see you here.
Yeah, and thank you. Remember, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We have our business QR codes there, or reach out to the person that invited you to this webinar. We'd be glad to share any information we have.